Hey, what's up everyone? Checking in on another live stream. Gorgeous Monday here. It's really, really nice out today, but we're back on another live stream. If you're here watching the replay, thank you very much. Probably best to skip ahead a few minutes and let some of the boys join up, as well as let me get this shared on all my socials. All right, let me get this shared on Discord. We got Dee and Larry in here. Larry, good to see you in here as well. Early today by the looks of it. All right. Just share it on Twitter. Now I'll get it going on Instagram as well. I did just shower, MG. I thought we were gonna have a big turnout in terms of my friends, but I'm gonna give them a call. All right, we'll get somebody there in here. Met a reseller and told him about you and the boys. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Was that your first time ever running into a reseller in the wild? How long have you been so I started doing Amazon hard like 6 months ago, basically, and it's kind of always been OA ever since then. But at that point, I mean, I like tens of thousands of dollars in capital. When I started reselling was like 7 years ago, and I had $160. I don't really get like I probably didn't even make like 10K a year to like 2017, and then just gradually scaled up to where we are. Oh, got pizza in the oven ready for tonight's stream. That's what's up. We got Pancito in here. No, running the resellers all the time. Gotcha. You started, I mean, like I had credit lines and all, because I've had like I've been reselling for a while. I just wasn't doing a lot of Amazon stuff. But in March, like once I got on Gatestone, yeah, I mean, I had more than that. But like when I started reselling, like I really started from the ground up with like $160, and it took years probably to even get like 10K. Got a little pretzel here. True, yeah. Might do some Ari tomorrow. Maybe even make a video about it. What are you guys at in sales for the day? I'm at a little over 2,800. Are there any cons? What do you mean commingling? Slow day 166. Got to get that up. And it would result in 10K if he didn't pay himself. Yeah, something like that. That's really interesting. Yeah, it shows the power of compounding. I need to start restock inventory haven't had. Did 200? Yeah, come on, Tanner, pump in some items. Just under 1K for the day. Love to see it, D. Get that right up going in. So that's interesting. Yeah, earn 30% monthly. Yeah, I'm gonna actually pull up the compound interest calculator and do some stuff like that. I doubt you 10x your money, but I mean, I don't know. Like if you did the calculator, math can't be messed with. 12 interest rate 30%. Profit on. There he is. There he is. What's up, G? Saddled in. Ooh, you cleaned up. It looks like a little bit.
No, I just haven't. I got recycling picked up and dropped off today. That's just where the recycling goes, and the gaylords are still broken down.
All right. Wow, 50% net. You must be selling books or something. But either way, like you'll be way better off growing your revenue. Commingling with manufacturers' labels versus your own. What's profit on today's sales? It's a good question. 20. I don't know, probably around like 500, 600. Pretty slow. Something to start. Yeah, more gaming. You just got to start. It doesn't matter how much. Like you've been telling us for a while you were going to start. Like it's time to just start. Forget how much money you have.
More gaming. You've been consuming more content in the past like 3 weeks than most people consume in months.
These pretzels are hitting. I don't have too many. If you started with 50,000 and compounded it over a year at a 30% ROI, you'd end the year with 1.1 million. That's crazy. But obviously, it's way like by like the 11th month. I mean, you'd have to spend like 800 grand or something to, which is easier said than done. Definitely.
Garrett, what am I eating? Bro, I eat the same thing every day. And I feel like you've asked me before. Green beans and mixed in grilled chicken. About $370 total for the meal.
Oh, that's lit. You had Rodriguez. Oh, Kevin, I'm about to peep that. Then I'm about to go to your channel and peep that real quick.
Rodriguez, Monday or Wednesday or Friday, we're in there. Miles is gonna come too.
Kevin hasn't hit my line about it. How am I supposed to show up if I'm not invited?
I gave you the invite.
Oh, all right. Well, in that case, Kevin, it's not showing up. Your stream isn't showing up on here.
Kevin, let's run it. Let's run it Wednesday, Kevin. Friday, I'm feeling another long one with the goat Miles.
Oh, you want to run up a long one on Friday?
That was a good time. Got some deep eddies, just taking it, bantering. That was a good time.
Yeah, label them yourself.
You got the bev, bro?
Yeah, do you? You better. I ordered DoorDash and my math teacher, your math teacher delivered. Click the link in your bot. What do you mean? It's not on your channel, Kevin. It's not showing on your channel. All right, it is showing on your channel. It's click the link. Click the link in bio. Let's go.
Okay, what's poppin'?
Ooh, we got K in the bill. Oh, my dog Rodriguez showed out. Yes, sir. He was mobile too.
Okay, what's poppin'? Brand new whip. Let's hop in. Ah!
All right, well, get him out of here.
He said he went.
Gallon of water, baby. Speaking of which, where's my gallon jug? Oh, you're talking about the cognitive enhancer, Kevin? Yeah, y'all should all get on it. It's clutch.
All right, I don't even want to know.
Allie, you don't like my rapping? Bro, just wait till you hear me drop some more lines. They don't call me G Unit for no reason, bro.
Bozo. Good video tutorials on Be Cool. So as always, you can get a free trial to Be Cool link in the description, and a good video on it is Fields of Profit. I'll make one eventually, but here is my friend's channel name. Put it up on the screen right there. I think it's showing boxes and all over the place.
No, you didn't, G Unit. I'm dead, bro. Once I hit the streets, it's game over. Put me in a rap battle. Gonzo. Be Cool has good videos on YouTube. Yeah, Be Cool is great. But I would suggest everyone in here try Be Cool and Aura and see which one you like.
Miles, you missed Kevin's live. You would have been proud. Yeah, no one hit me about it. No one told me about it. I'll show out to the next one.
We're all showing up on Wednesday. Except we should just switch. Do his at 8. It's tough for me to do any earlier. If anyone in here is in Miami, Danny and I are coming down to Miami, not this coming weekend, but the following.
Just flipped a book for $1 from RA. Well, you bought a book, RA, for $1. Sitting here with 6. So you should be buying knowing the demand going in, so you can see the volume on that and see if you have the buy box on it. FOP has been killing it with the videos. Yeah, shout out FOP.
Who's throwing around Bozo? I love it. I love it. Called my husband Bozo today by accident. He's suddenly dead. I've never been more proud, D. I've never been more proud. That's amazing. I love that. Bozo could have all sorts of meanings, D. It's all in the interpretation.
True. Indeed. Oh, my ODR looking so nice, boy. It's down again. Let's go. My ODR looking nice. $1 sales section. Might have to. So that definitely doesn't help. Yeah, the fact that you're FBMing it.
A lot of people have success with Dollar Tree. I mean, obviously, you're not gonna be able to pick up like.
Yeah, you won't be able to. But
and there's not gonna be a lot of home runs. But I mean, there's probably consistently $20 to $50, $60 in the store once you go in once. I meant it like idiot. He was not.
oh yeah, you live in FOP country, right? I said, yeah, you were in here last night talking about driving from New Mexico to Arkansas, right? thoughts on flipping Dollar Tree items? Yeah, I think Garrett just said it, but yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, you won't be able to scale it like crazy, but absolutely give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, you go in there, you could. I'm sure you can find $50, $60 in there. Rodriguez, what's up, player?
Yeah, we got my dog Rodriguez in the building.
Rodriguez, you popping in or what? Rodriguez, you've been lacking on the memes lately.
Yeah, Rodriguez, you have.
We're gonna have to take away the CMO title from you.
Ooh, true.
No good, Rodriguez. No good.
Just entered. They are. Wow. So how long was that drive total, Famous?
The peanuts are dessert, Dennis. The peanuts are dessert. Come on. You know the deal. They're for appetizer and dessert. Where's satisfying sales rank for books, in your opinion? Anything under $1 million will sell pretty quickly. Also, I think, I mean, I haven't done the book space in a while, but I think eScore is a better metric, isn't it?
Yeah, eScore. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would go by eScore more, because that tells you how many out of the last 180 days that book has sold, right? So you have a really good indication of recent velocity. It doesn't tell you how much each day it sold, but it'll populate for every specific day. I don't know if I get down with that more gaming. I don't know. That's a little funky.
Wonder where Danny is. Danny, we miss you.
Green beans and grilled chicken, Rodriguez. I was grabbing candy from Dollar Tree. Definitely cool to start and practice the Amazon life, at least for me. But scaling is definitely hard. Yeah. Agreed.
No, there's tons of value in getting your feet wet.
Yeah, but it's a walking, living, breathing course. Instead of paying $2,000 for a course, go scan some stuff. You'll learn. Do I need Scout IQ on stuff like that if I have Keepa? So Scout IQ is just for books.
Yeah, but definitely you do, Apex, because Scout IQ is the only place you'll be able to find the eScore. Conveniently, you can go to the link in the description and get a free trial to Scout IQ and theoretically be looking at eScore on items, in the next few minutes if you go ahead and get that set up. What's good, everybody? We got Warner. We got a lot of Fields of Profit love in the chat tonight. We got Famous, who's actually entering FOP country.
Warner, what's poppin'?
Dale,
what's poppin'?
Videos. All right, Garrett, you're walking a fine line.
I don't know why that song is stuck in my head. Do you guys ever try Feedback 5? I'm on a 14-day trial. It's so far. What's your percentage? Do you have data to report back? If not, at the end of the 14 days, report back some data.
Yeah, I just use Big Central from BQ for feedback.
Larry, I want to know how many out of your total orders you've gotten a review on. That's what I'm interested in. What's eScore? So if you're not doing books, it's not super relevant. But eScore, I was explaining to her, it's a metric that I think
it's the sales in the last 180 days. It shows on Scout IQ though. Scout IQ invented the.
Yeah, I think Caleb invented it, but it's just like Miles said. Out of the past 180 days, it populates every day that book gets sold. Not how many times that day it is sold, but once a day.
Yes, there's on Scout IQ. So that means this book, see the rank is super, super low. That's how many days there's been a sale. So Scout IQ, you scan the book, and then it gives you an instant data reading on the book and tells you, Tools of the Titans, that's a very popular book, clearly, as we see with the rank. So if you want Scout IQ, down in the description, you get a free trial.
How do you ship Nike shoes? Which boxes for FBM? I would get USPS priority ones. Measure it, order the ones that'll fit, and utilize that. It's so much easier to then to get free boxes with USPS than to get just random boxes and UPS them. So I would go USPS free boxes. Do not get the shoe boxes though. You'll see the shoe boxes and be like, oh, let me get those. But those actually don't work. They don't fit an actual shoe box. So measure a shoe box, a standard shoe box, and get the proper ones. And I would just roll with that. I'm on books. How can I see what items I've sold? I'm in your seller app. If you go to orders, you could see, and then you could filter it by FBA or FBM.
Got what? Wow, one positive. That's cool. What's your favorite food? Probably chicken wings, or like Chipotle. Just my general Chipotle.
My favorite food? Probably watermelon. Watermelon slaps. Either watermelon or.
Cody messes with the watermelon heavy too.
Oh, big time! I've never seen someone eat it like I do. Just scoop it out, but I've seen him do it. Watermelon or like I'm a big pizza guy. I like the basic food, like all the American, like real basic food I like. Pizza, hamburgers, all that good stuff. Steak and cheeses. I love steak and cheeses. That's what Friday nights are for.
From Nike to not get canceled. So they actually limit stuff pretty well, and you won't normally get a ton of cancels from Nike. They'll just limit your ordering. They'll like stop letting you check out on the site.
What's good, Matt? 14K. Miles is a shirt. Oh, you just got that. Do Americans love culture food like other than burgers? Culture food, bro. I mess with some Chinese food. I don't think that's what you're referring to, but bro, give me some Chinese food on a Friday or Saturday. Oh, that thing is gone. General Tso chicken, sign me up. 1908 days. Thanks to you guys. Much love. Heck yeah. Genuine question. What's up, More Gaming? Good evening, all. MN Holla. What's poppin'? Brand new.
Rudy, post your sales graph in the success section of the Discord. Show some others how it's.
What foods does America have? Dude, we got everything. We got what you need.
All the bad ones.
Yeah, most of it's unhealthy, but we got everything. Is it easy to get ungated on items, and how long is the process? So it depends on. I've seen different brands take different amounts of time, but most of them are pretty easy. If you go into Miles's Discord, there's an ungating channel, and there's pretty much everything you'll need in there.
Yep.
Taco Bell, baby. Ew, bro. Get out of here with that.
So all the dudes in the group chat were talking about Taco Bell. MN Holla, good to see you. Definitely. Glad to have you in here again.
Kevin, yeah, you gotta miss me with that. You could use a like a VPN switcher, Ali, or just wait the 24 hours or whatever. They typically reset after 24, or just get creative. Use a VPN switcher, have people order for you. There's different things you can do. Where there's a will, there's a way, my friends. I mean, Miles has probably spent like $100,000 from Nike in his lifetime, and they still let him order like once a day. So
yeah,
you have to be spending money to get permanently banned from there.
Kevin said, "Guess I'm eating sand." It's good banter.
So Miles, actually, I sent Miles a template. Have Miles send it to you, but essentially, you just keep rerouting them back to Amazon, right? Because a lot of times, the customer will go to customer service with Amazon, and then they will inadvertently send them back to you. But all you do is just copy and paste the same message you sent previously, and then just keep rerouting them through the order page to Amazon. Because like I keep saying, Amazon is responsible for refunding anything that was purchased through their site and bought on time, right? So if you shipped on time and you bought shipping through Amazon, Amazon is responsible for that refund. No matter if it's damaged, lost, stolen, arrives late, whatever the case may be, Amazon is responsible for it. However, like I keep saying, they're not going to willingly give you that refund. You have to ask for it, and potentially a couple times. But use a template. Miles, I sent Miles my template. Appreciate you, MG.
Upgraded StreamYard like Miles, no more watermark. Kevin, why'd you upgrade it? You don't need to.
You guys specifically tack down items for satisfying gain using the buy box. Do you ever fall in getting it? What is that? Do you guys ever specifically tack down items for satisfying? I don't know what that means. Am I just losing it, or does that not make sense?
Yeah, you're losing it.
Okay, fair enough. When is Miles gonna get a desktop?
Never, never. How do you not have? I pay for it because I needed to for the amount I was streaming. But I wouldn't. I don't think you should pay for. Oh boy. Tracking down, my bad. Powerful PC hit up. Why is that? More gaming. 2 times a week, hate that watermark. Hey, it is what it is, man.
Do you ever fail at winning the buy box? Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, a good buy box percentage is like a lot lower than you would think.
Yeah, a lot lower than you
We're
think.
talking like 10s, 20% buy box percentage, maybe 30, 40 if you're really good. But I mean, hey guys, just registered for an Amazon account, but they're doing an interview for me. Any idea what to expect?
It's not going to be a big deal. They just want to make sure it's you.
They're going to have you hold up your ID to the camera. They're going to ask you what your name is, probably verify your identification. Super easy, super light, nothing to sweat over.
Yeah.
We have our homie Kay just reported back the other day and gave us the insight because neither of us have done it, but we heard from her.
Accounts too long ago.
So Wednesday, good for y'all. Yeah, we are in, right, Miles? Wednesday night.
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
Not 8 o'clock.
All right. Well, I'll come on definitely at some point, but I'm gonna do mine as well. But yeah, definitely at some point. I'll be on.
I don't know if I can do 7, Kevin. If you do 8, I'll be at yours. Is the whole account under her name? I mean, yeah, if her mom, the ID and everything just has to match whatever the account name is under. Ah, Kevin, you're killing me, bro. What about 9? What about 9? I can mess with 9, Kevin. 7 is I'm typically at the gym at 7. Yeah, so just have her.
Mine would work perfect, actually. I'm under 18. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, as long as your mom just answers all their. I mean, it's really
It's
nothing.
not gonna be a big deal. Yeah, it's not.
Just make sure she has her ID with her. So do you guys always set a repressor around the margins of the buy box? No. So our repressor is based on our business model, right? So we don't necessarily price around the buy box. We price around us. We let the buy box come to us, right? We don't chase sales. Chase sales come to us. So our margins are typically around 30-35% ROI, $5 gross profit dollars, and typically around like 16, 17, 18% gross margin, right? So abiding by all those metrics, that's how we set our minimums. And we always let sales come to us. We don't feel the need to go chase sales. That's not how we work. Nah, Kevin, we'll do 8 to 9 on Miles' stream, and then we'll go over to yours for 9 to 10.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Oh, Larry, that was a while ago, my man. I have no idea. I don't, Miles, you might have a better idea. I have no idea, though.
No, oh, nothing, dude. I mean, like, really not a lot. Like 5K a month, 10K a month. Nothing significant.
All right, yeah, Kevin, where then? 9 o'clock. You got to come to Miles's at 8 then. We'll do 8 to 9 here, and then 9 to 10 at yours. So if you set your own ROI rules, that means you're waiting for the buy box price to come to you. No, because we're good at sourcing, right? So we're only buying stuff where we're getting sales, right? We're not going to buy something that's so low below our threshold that we have to wait. Oh boy, he's gone. So right, that's where good sourcing strategy and good sourcing experience comes into play, right? We're not buying something that's trending at 20 if our minimum is at 25, right? That doesn't do us any good, right? We're buying with the floor within our range, and then we're just going to wait in line. What I meant by waiting for the sales to come to us is by waiting our line in rotation of the buy box, right? Not necessarily waiting for the price to go up. We're just waiting for our rotations, right? And that just comes down to sourcing experience, sourcing discipline, and just knowing what you're looking for as a business, right? It all comes down to just experience and repetition with your sourcing. We only source. Let's all raid our boy Kevin's live tomorrow night to support him. Who's in Wednesday? D Wednesday. What was I saying? I forget. What was I saying? Someone tell me what I was saying. I was talking about the buybacks. Oh yeah, we source with the expectation that we're going to start selling within a week or two, right? If it's a profitable item and we're priced profitably, but it doesn't sell, it doesn't do us any good, right? We make money when things sell, right? So we're keeping that in mind when we source. You have to predict how often the buy box will rotate to you to adjust how many. You have to predict how often the buy box will rotate to you, so you adjust how many units you order accordingly to that. Not necessarily. So we use So we're talking about test buys, right? Because our test buys are going to populate for the first couple orders, and then we have real-time data to then leverage in making our purchases, right? But in order to test buy, we're really just using an estimate of the competitive sellers as a ratio of the expected sales of the listing, right? So there's different ways you can estimate and get an estimate of all the sales expected for a product listing, and we take that number, right, and we divide it by the competitive sellers. And what I mean by competitive sellers is anyone that's within like 2 to 5% of the current buy box. Those are what we consider competitive sellers, right? So we take the total number of sales for that product, divide it by the number of competitive sellers, and that'll give us theoretically our portion of the pie, right? So that's what we use to place our first couple orders as a test buy to make sure we can check all of our boxes, right? We want to make sure the product comes in how we think it will in terms of from a packaging standpoint. We want to make sure we can list to Amazon with no issues. We want to make sure the product starts to sell with no issues. We want to make sure there's no IP complaints off the bat. We want to check all these boxes before we start to go deep in a product, right? And then once you go through the first couple months, then you have real-time data to then forecast and leverage in order to make those further future purchases. But in order to make the first couple buys, all we're using is a rough estimate. We don't need to be spot on in terms of how many units we buy. We just need to be in the ballpark, right? If that estimate gets us within 10, 20, 30 units, we're cool with that. We just don't want to be hundreds off of what we should be, right? We don't want hundreds in excess, or we also don't want to be short hundreds because then we're losing money, right? So as long as we're within 10, 20 to 50 units of that, what we should be ordering for that 30-day period, then we're cool, right? So that's just how we go about purchasing and placing our first couple orders, obviously, and then we use real-time data then to make those future purchases. But it's all based on competitive sellers, right? Because if a listing is at 25, there's 9 sellers on the listing, but there's 2 of them that are priced at 45, then we don't care about them. They're not competitive. They're not going to be in rotation for the buy box, so we don't have to account for them in our estimations, right? We're only concerned about people who are in contention for the buy box, and that's going to be anywhere between 2 to 5, 6, 7% of the current buy box, because as we know, it's going to rotate. Is it bad to open another Amazon account under the same address trying to get my girlfriend? Ooh, same address is tricky. I don't know if I would take that risk. I would get someone further away from you. Or not further away from you, further relationally away from you. I would probably get like a friend or someone that lives under a different address. If you're going to do that, I personally wouldn't take a chance at the same address. Miles, what's poppin'? Welcome to my stream.
My bad.
Let's hop in.
Start out with books first and move into OA as quickly as you want to scale. If you want to make this a full-time income, you want to get out of books as soon as possible. If you want, $1,000 or $2,000 profit a month where you don't work every day on it, you can stay in books for a little while and really get your feet wet and kind of figure out what niche you want. But yes, Sham, so you go ahead, get your Amazon seller account open as soon as possible. Get a free trial of Scout IQ and go to your closest thrift store and scan all the books using Scout IQ. Scout IQ will tell you what's profitable and what isn't. Good question here. Test buying.
Yeah, talked about all that.
Oh, all right. I'm
kidding. I know him. That's why I was saying that. So like I was saying, so the first couple buys we're going off an estimate. That's how we leverage. That's how we're placing the first couple orders. And the way we do that personally is we take the total number of sales for a particular product listing, and we divide that by the competitive sellers on that listing. What I mean by a competitive seller is anyone within about 2 to 5, maybe even 7% of the current buy box, right? If a listing has 9 sellers and only here gone again. If a listing has 9 sellers and only 7 of them are priced within that 5 to 7% range, then 2 of them we don't care about because they're not in contention. If they're at 40 and the buy box is at 25, then those 2 are irrelevant, right? So we take the total number of sales for a product that can be expected, divided by the competitive sellers, and that gives us a rough estimate of how many we can expect as a competitive seller on that listing, right? So then we leverage that to place our first couple test buys, right? Because all we're trying to do with our test buys is get in the ballpark, right? We don't want to be hundreds off of what we should have ordered. We want to be within 10s and 20s and 30s, right? If we're going to sell 500 of a unit for a month, we want to be anywhere between 400 and 600. We want to be close, right? If we're at 1,000 units, if we place 1,000 units and send them in off the rip and we're only going to send 500, then we're losing money because that opportunity cost is of that other 500. We're losing money in terms of it could be somewhere else. On the same token, we only order 150 when we should have ordered 500. It's the same argument, just in the reverse.
And obviously for a lot of you guys, and even for me, like that's going to be a lot less volume at the start, obviously, and probably for a while. So
it's
more
the same
so
argument, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's the same principle. More so see it as like, let me buy 5 instead of 50 or 5 instead of 30. That's the way I'm doing stuff.
But then, then to hammer home that point, we're only using that calculation to get a sense and to estimate, to get close, right? Because once we're on a product for 2, 3, 4 months, then we use our own real-time data to make those future decisions, right? If I've been selling a product for 5 months, then I have my own data that I can leverage in terms of making those monthly purchases, right? If I've sold a product for 20 times for 3 straight months, well, I mean, it doesn't take a brainiac to know that I'm probably going to sell it within somewhere around 20 units the next month. So that's how we place our future buys after we get a sense and we make our estimations.
iClaw machine. So Scout IQ, I think, is $44 a month, and just the time you save from being able to scan so quick and getting those green or red ratings, depend on the profitability of the book, makes it very worth it. It saves you a lot of time, and it obviously tells you what's profitable and what isn't. So especially at the start, basically, like, it'll tell you reject if the book isn't profitable, and then obviously green if it is profitable like that.
Is it okay to get a VA for OA if I've never done OA using
No, don't. I wouldn't. You need to be able to do it yourself first.
My principle is always you want to be effective at things before you be efficient. And obviously we'd be efficient by outsourcing. But a VA is only going to be as good as your SOP that you give them, right? You can't expect a VA to be very, very efficient and very effective at sourcing OA if the instructions you give them aren't adequate, aren't very detailed, and aren't successful, right? VAs are very good at tasks. They're task oriented. So they're going to take directions that you give them and execute on those directions and pretty much stay between the lines of where you instruct them to go, right? You can't expect a VA who you just hired to execute on all this critical thinking and out of the box thinking when you didn't tell them to do though, and you didn't train them to do so, right? So that's why I coach all my students to obviously be very efficient and really be successful in sourcing yourself before you start to build your team out and outsource that, because then you're just going to obviously increase your overhead with no return, and it's just not going to be a very successful relationship. So in this essence, your test buy helps you scale and or let you know if the product's a miss and move on. So, I mean, and it comes back to originally the sourcing, right? Sourcing comes with experience. So when we're purchasing a product, we have a pretty decent idea that it's going to be a hit, right? We're experienced. Our team is very good. And anyone who sources for an extended period of time, you're going to get good at sourcing, and that confidence is going to build.
And your capital build, so you'll be able to go wider. You'll be able to spread your net wider and really double down more on stuff that is really, really good.
Right. The test buy is really only to get us within the ballpark of that first 30-day sales estimate, right? We want to purchase in a 30-day increment. That's kind of the sweet spot of where we can maximize our capital, right? And we don't want to be purchasing 70 days out because we can be using some of that capital elsewhere for other 30-day purchase orders, right? So we really want to be purchasing within that 30-day time frame. And so we use the estimate of the test order to really kind of get in the ballpark of that 30-day estimate right off the bat without any sales data, right? Because once we have sales data, then it's game over. Then we know what we're doing. We're just trying to get in the ballpark to not overshoot really off the rip. For FDM,
what's the difference between Amazon app and Scout IQ? No, Rudy. So also, you're able to scan stuff and make decisions way quicker using Scout IQ, because the seller app, like here, let me scan a book real quick.
I've had some orders which meet the requirements, but Amazon didn't let me.
So watch this. So I have a book here. I'm gonna scan it and watch. It takes a little while. It comes up, and then I have to click it, go in, and then look at the sales rank, and then look what it sells for. And with Scout IQ, it's an all-in-one where if I scan, I don't have a current Scout IQ subscription, but if I scanned it, it would immediately tell me all that, and it would give me a ding in my headphones, green, or reject, and then I know to keep moving. So with Scout IQ, I can go boom, 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 boom. But with just the Amazon Seller app, I just have to go scan it, and then there's extra clicks involved. I have to click the right one, click that, and then go and look.
How many times do you place a test buy on certain product to consider your own? 2 to 3 months. That's where I'm pretty comfortable in using our own data. Why do people move on from books? People move on from books to start scaling, right? Books, you can only spend so much money profitably without altering your business model, right?
And
So it's
taking on
important,
serious overhead, going the bulk route, or
it's important as you scale your Amazon business to really be disciplined with how you source and what your business model is, right? If your business model and you've set it at 30% ROI and about 18, 19% gross profit, then it's important to stay there as you start to spend more money, right? Don't change your business model as your business grows, because that's going to lead down a very steep and narrow path. How would you go about to finish that answer, people move away from books to be able to spend more money on demand, right? It's difficult to purchase books at scale profitably, but it's not as difficult to purchase OA or wholesale products
yeah.
at scale profitably. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, Scout IQ is 44 a month. It'll exactly both in the time you save and the added decision making around Amazon metrics that were already put in by booksellers with their set triggers that you can eventually change if you want to. But yeah, all you guys that are considering doing books are currently doing books. If you're not using Scout IQ, you're missing out. You can give it a go. Free trial in the description.
How would you go about pricing a product without any FBA offers? By using the history, right? We know before I purchase anything, we know where it's trending, where the floor is, and really where the ceiling is. Those are the three metric points that we always have a very good insight on before we purchase anything, right? So again, before we purchase a product, we want to know where the floor is. We want to know where it's trending, which is going to be in the middle. We want to know where the ceiling is, right? There's going to be 3 points that we're concerned with. And then we price somewhere in that middle area. We're not going to price necessarily at the floor. Actually, I take that back. If there's no FBA sellers, we'd probably price at the ceiling, right? Because there's no competitive offers. We want to maximize our profits at that point. Our pricer is going to adjust down to our trending as more offers come on. But if there's no one else on the listing, then we're going to try and maximize our opportunity and price at the ceiling, and let those profits and let the repricer bring us down if we need to.
If you're just starting, definitely don't do that many. Do like I'd say, I mean, depending, you probably don't even have like depending on the amount of money you have, but yeah, I mean, probably do like 20 or 50. It depends on like how much money you have, honestly, like how expensive that unit is, all that.
These are good questions. This is an active live.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good questions. Thank you guys.
$44. What is that? Is live data option? I don't know what that's referring to. Oh, it's got IQ.
Yeah, do the database one though. Yeah. Database is a lot more effective, especially if you need to move quickly, which you
How do the
should.
seasons affect your BBB and flow? Oh, ebb and flow. So it depends what we're talking, right? So in Q4 specifically, there's going to be products that we go in on that we wouldn't necessarily go in on in the other 3 quarters. So in our business, we don't typically buy toys in the other 3 quarters, but we do dabble in some toys in Q4, obviously, with the obvious reason being Christmas coming. But Keepa is going to really give us the answers in terms of purchasing seasonality. And if you're familiar with Keepa, right? Why? It works as, so if anyone has a background in math, right? We're talking about like a sine curve, right? It's going to have a cyclical nature, and that's the sales rank graph, right? We know when the sales rank starts to drop, demand goes up, right? And so, say for like a Thanksgiving plate bundle, right? We know and we would expect that approaching Thanksgiving, those sales are going to increase, the price is going to increase, and there's going to be a lot more opportunity. But if we're sourcing that Thanksgiving plate bundle in June, right, the sales rank is going to be super high and the price may be lower because no one's buying it, right? So with any sort of seasonality, with any sort of seasonal product, it's really going to take on this cyclical nature, right? As the holiday starts to approach, it's going to drop, and then once you get through the season, it's going to go up, right?
More
so we leverage.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were done. Carry on.
We leverage those cyclical Keepa graphs to make forecasting decisions and trying to capitalize the seasonality of certain products. In terms of anything else, We're always trying to hop on some of those seasonality trends. And then obviously with Q4, there's a huge uptick in sales all across the board. So obviously be ready to spend the money on Q4. I think that answered your question. I don't know. What's better OA, Nike or Miles? Were you going to take that?
Yeah, so I mean, like RA can be easier at the start, but OA is going to be significantly more scalable over time.
And the reason why is because with RA, right, in order to scale, you're scaling people's time, right? Either you have to drive to more stores or you have people driving to more stores. Then you're dealing with traffic, you're dealing with gas, you're dealing with potentially lines waiting in at the store. So scaling people's time is a lot different than scaling money, right? When we're purchasing OA, we scale the business as our credit lines increase, as our knowledge increases, right? As some of these different factors that are a lot more quickly increasable than having to drive all across the country going to all these different outlets, right? So outlets are good. You'll typically get a higher ROI, but in terms of scaling, the real bread and butter is going to be sitting right in front of that computer and sourcing online, because we can source from 7 different websites in the span of an hour, where if we were trying to go to those 7 same stores, we're limited in terms of what products are in front of us, right? Stores can be sold out. Stores can have a low quantity. Time has to be spent to drive there. Then we're dealing with traffic.
That's such a pain.
Yeah, right. And so you could hit 7 stores in a day in person and not necessarily have any hits, but you can go online, search those 7 same stores, order more quantity, and also not drive anywhere, do all your research in an hour, and have keeper data readily available. Right? You have so much more information at the fingertips when you're ordering online rather than in the store. Right? You have all sorts of history. You can see competitive sellers trying to swallow some green peas. You have so much more information sitting at your computer rather than in the store. And a lot of people feel awkward going in stores, so it's just a lot better, a lot easier to spend a lot of money. And Rakuten is well, you can use Rakuten in store, can't you?
Only a few places like the A6 outlet. Thoughts on Excel? It's a listing software for books. More gaming, you don't need it. More gaming, you need to sell some products. You don't need any softwares. You need to sell some products. Do you still do Kohl's? Yeah, not at scale, but Kohl's is amazing. Kohl's Cash is so good. I mean, 20% back is crazy. I'm a big Kohl's Cash guy.
Except whether they're not canceling you.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, they definitely do cancel, but we gotta do what we gotta do.
Dude, Miles, did I tell you I filled up 3 Gaylords of cardboard?
Wow, knowledge.
Sorry for everything, not books. What? I don't know what that was about. Oh, Excel list. Oh yeah, that's only books. Inventory lab, bro. I'm telling you. Do or have you ever used a FBA package handler? Would it make some large orders or bigger items? FBA package handler. Like a prep center? I don't know. FBA package handler. I mean, so I run a prep center. So we take in packages for clients all around the country that either don't have the room to scale or obviously in a high sales tax state. So that's a service that we do offer to some of our clients. What are your specialties in terms of the items you sell? We do a lot of supplements. We do some clothing and apparel. We do a lot of topicals. And Q4, we do a lot of decor, and we do some toys. But really, supplements, topicals, grocery, and clothing and apparel are really the 4 areas that we focus in. Miles is pretty much only clothing and apparel.
Yeah.
And he crushes it.
Oh, shoes too. Yeah, a lot of shoes. Justin in the house. Yeah, we got. Is Amazon shipping? Yeah, definitely, because you're insured. Definitely.
Justin, this is dinner, baby. We got my green peas and grilled chicken inside. Is Amazon shipping the best way to go? Yeah, because I don't know if he was in there in the beginning. In terms of merchant fulfilled, let me try and swallow some green beans before I talk. Right, if you buy the shipping on time and through Amazon, Amazon will insure all merchant fulfilled orders. Right, so this is huge if the carrier loses your package, if it goes late and the customer has a canary, if it gets damaged. Right, all three of those scenarios, Amazon will actually refund the customer, which is huge, right? If we're talking either at scale or high ticket items, we don't want to be fronting that refund out of pocket, right? So anytime any of those three, damaged, lost, or stolen, doesn't arrive on time, customer just isn't happy, Amazon insures all merchant fulfilled orders purchased through where shipping is purchased through them and on time. Dude, I'm struggling, bro. I'm walking laps in my neighborhood. Need 6K steps. Let's go. Heck yeah, make it 7K, boy.
Well, he does 10K a day. I assume he just needs 6K more.
I don't know.
Either way.
He's walking this afternoon, I think.
Yeah, that's a vibe. He always posts that he lives right near the park. That's an absolute vibe.
I'm super jealous. Christmas decor, yeah. A pro tip for anyone in this chat right now. Q4 is divided up into 3 sectors. We have Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. If you want to make serious money, scavenger through the home.
You were really doing a bunch of Hobby Lobby OA? Or, yeah, Hobby Lobby OA?
Yes.
Yeah. We already talked about that in previous stream.
Yeah, no, Hobby Lobby goes in. There's another pro tip for the however many people are in here. Except don't steal all my thunder. Hobby Lobby is crazy. Q4. Anyways, if you want to make a killing, scavenger through all the home decor sections of all the stores that you can think of for all the specs each holiday. Right? So for Halloween, we're talking about the blow-up skeletons and all the crazy stuff you put in your yard. Anything you potentially hang up on the walls, on the front door, anything like lights along your alleyway, any of those stuff that people decorate their house for, volume goes up and the price goes up. For Thanksgiving, right, we're going to be focused around the table, right? So like table runners, centerpieces, plates, napkins, Thanksgiving themed, all that food and like stuffing. Again, stuff you put on the door, stuff you hang on the walls. Again, stuff you blow up in your yard. That general theme is going to carry through each of the 3 holidays. Obviously, with Christmas, we have the toys as well. But Christmas, same thing. Huge blow up whitey things in the yard, all that sort of stuff. If you want to make money, that's where you should be looking with this holiday season.
Yeah, so returns aren't a super big thing. Obviously, when you're in shoes, just there's a much higher percentage of returns than normal items. But especially if you have FBA stuff, it doesn't end up being too much of an issue.
FBA shoes, it'll eliminate the return factor.
More gaming, it's not important. Like you don't, unless you're going really, really deep on it. Like it's not gonna be something you're gonna need to worry about, or at least that it'll make sense to put time towards. Of course, ADK, we got you, man.
Anyone in the chat, anyone who's in flying down to Miami in 2 weeks, Miles is coming. No, he's not.
I'm not. I wish.
Not this weekend, but the following. Danny's lacking right now.
Yeah.
He's buying our plane tickets right now. What is Garrett's favorite food? Watermelon's in top 5. I would say pizza's probably up there. Cheeseburgers are probably up there. Are we talking about got a place to party in? Heck yeah, I am super in. All right, so I'll give you my top 5, Rodriguez. So we got, in no specific order, watermelon, pizza, cheeseburger, steak and cheese, and I don't know.
Garrett's a big Applebee's guy.
Oh, Applebee's and Chili's.
God.
Applebee's probably for the Giants game on Thursday. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, you and Danny should hit that up. And Dennis.
Typically, I go to if I can get someone to come with me, I'm super in. But typically, I go by myself, so I can't. I don't always feel like going.
Going to restaurants by yourself is such a good skill to have.
Oh, it's a life hack.
And it's so peaceful. Oh my God. As someone who used to do it a lot and hasn't, obviously pandemic wise, absolutely, it's super peaceful.
If the customer returns item and it's FBA, I'm guessing the seller provides the return, not Amazon.
Well, but Amazon handles it and relists it because it's the products in their possession. That's why
Amazon's that's why FBA is a cheat code with, especially with shoes and apparel, right? Because any return you typically don't even see, right? With shoes specifically, someone could try on the shoe, they're like, it doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, it doesn't fit, whatever. They put it back in the box. Okay, don't mess me with that giant stuff. I'm still salty. Put it back in the box, send it back to Amazon, and you don't see it, right? Amazon lists it again, sell it again, and second time's the charm. If not, the third time's the charm.
All right, Rudy, we will see you tomorrow. Thanks for stopping in tonight. eScore, no, it means it. There's been 40 days with sales in the last 180 days, and it's just period in sales.
Oh, I apologize, Kay. I thought you were hating on the loss. You're asking about my favorite player. Saquon, dog. What you mean? Saquon's the GOAT. Thanks, Rudy. See you tomorrow for sure. Garrett, are there specific supplements you stay away from a risk mitigation standpoint? Stuff like weight loss pills. That's a good point. As long as not necessarily, as long as the keeper holds true, then we're in. We have specific brands that we work with though, and typically within that brand, all bets are off on, or where it's game on for everything. Really, the only thing that you really have to stay away from is what's the abbreviation? Anything that says like cancer in the product title.
Yeah, I don't sell any supplements for that.
Yeah, that's not what I was going for. But anything that has like cancer is a huge red flag. If it has THC, that's another huge red flag. But again, you don't necessarily have to be super mindful of all this stuff because the keeper is going to show you all that. As long as there's over 3 sellers, as long as there's history, as long as there's oscillation, you have nothing to worry about. Supplements are crazy though, because think about it. Typically, they're higher price and they're small, right? So you can send in, like one of our best-selling products, we can send in a revenue bot, or a 30-day revenue of probably like 8,000, and like a small box like this, right? That's huge because FBA fees are low, shipping fees are low, and the price ticket's high. So, game on. Supplements is super competitive though. That's the only thing. So you typically have to work with a distributor or brand direct to get those margins. We fly high, low line, you know this. Ballin'. Here to share the ASIN? Yeah, I don't know it off the top of my head, but I'll send it to you.
Just getting this shipment ready. That's why I'm pretty focused right now on this screen.
Ordered wholesale to get ungated and beauty. Got the order, went to list it, and got auto ungated. Oh yikes! That's why you always gotta check.
Well, yeah, you do have to check. It's not normal. It's either way. See if you can return the order.
Yeah, so that's why I always tell people to take the ASIN of the product that you're about to order and just double check. Go into Amazon. Make sure you're still gated. in the category or brand that you're looking to get ungated in. Yeah, that's just that's just an L. What are the best wholesalers to use if you're first starting out? Local, 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 local. Google your closest city, your closest area, your big town, whatever, and Google. So say you're close to Cincinnati or whatever. Cincinnati toy distributors, Cincinnati wholesalers, Cincinnati grocery distributors, Cincinnati toy wholesalers, Cincinnati bulk toys, right? All these sorts of catchphrases with your closest city or area or town, and you're bound to get some hits. Call them up, or even better yet, just pull up on them and say, "This is what I do. This is what I can offer you. What you got?" Right? And they may say no, but they may say yes, right? And you would never know unless you tried. Furthermore, and if you do get in the door, the shipping is going to be crazy cheap, right? So that's your competitive advantage on anyone else that's trying to order those same products, right? So then you can get better margins, more profits, more money in your pocket, happier you. So definitely start local. Danny's lacking, bro. I think getting into FBA small and light is the play. Could be, for sure. What are the best wholesalers? I already did that. How high does the price of stuff generally go up on Thanksgiving? Also, what's a satisfying time buying food in advance, considering the expiration date? So the only grocery I'm really buying for Thanksgiving is non-perishable, right? And so we're talking about like stuffing, we're talking about like sauce, pork, all that sort of stuff that's non-perishable is what we're getting. And with that being said, those expiration dates aren't a concern, right? We're talking years in advance, and so that's really not an issue. We're not gonna buy. We don't mess with Halloween candy. We don't mess with things like any sort of candy, because you mess with the opportunity of melting. It's just a lot more difficult and a lot more headaches to deal with. I have a friend that's been able to sell groceries since day one. Isn't that odd?
Yeah,
That's odd. Garrett, did an earthquake hit your warehouse? No, it did not, unfortunately. I wish I could use that as an excuse. I was gated when I ordered it. Oh, that's interesting. That's, I guess, just unlucky. Have you guys ever revised an Amazon listing, for example, a sneaker with awful photos? Shoes are tough. Um, Sometimes they let you edit it, sometimes they don't. Oftentimes they won't. That's just kind of yeah, nature of the beast. Amazon's really annoying with some of the current listings. Did an earthquake hit your warehouse? Ladies throw the shade, bro.
facts.
How much should I care about my IPI score? Over the last week, it went from mid 600s to mid 500s. Nothing significant changed with my account. I know staying above 400 is key. If nothing changed with your account, then don't worry about it, right? The only thing IPI really influences is your storage limits. So if your storage limits are still not an issue, then you have no issue. You guys mess with big items like air fryers, coffee makers. No, no, and no. Those are pains.
No, but Richie Hustles, who's an awesome YouTuber and one of our friends, he does a lot. So you should check out his stuff and maybe DM him on Instagram or something if you have questions. But he does a lot of big items like that.
Super good dude. He's definitely gonna respond. It could be pretty significant because you got to remember, right? So Amazon's built on the algorithm, and that's what determines where things go, right? And so Amazon has systems in place that that bring in that specific inventory to certain FBA centers, right? And so what inventory placement does is it ignores all of that. It doesn't take any of that into consideration. Typically it will bring all of those units to the same and closest prep center, and then Amazon will take those units and disperse them throughout the country wherever they want. However, on the flip side, if you didn't use inventory placement, you probably wouldn't have sent those items to their desired places off the rip, right? So you wouldn't have to deal with the FC transfer, but you would have to like larger shipping costs. So it's a give and take in terms of.
No, pay off completely. Always, Brianna. Always, always, always.
What's up, Kings? Just dropping by to say what's good. Not around tonight, but we'll be around tomorrow. We will be here.
Yeah, John, my bad. I don't even think I sent you the invite tonight, but yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, definitely.
I think he was shooting. I think he's on the chain. But by what exact time do resellers start to see the prices of items in Q4 start to fluctuate higher in price? So some of the seasonal stuff is already starting to go up, but pretty much by October, you're going to start to see a lot of crazy things start to happen. And it's going to last for until pretty much January 10th or January 15th. So you got 3.5 months of wildness that you got to buckle up for. Buckle up! Sucks for West Coast people since most of Amazon sales happens during the East Coast. Yeah, that's true. That is true, my friends.
My bad. I just saw something cool on Instagram.
Are we wrapping up here, friends? Any more questions?
Yeah, I guess we can call the night gradually here tonight. We'll be back tomorrow though, but
real quick, who we got tonight in the game? Who we got? Ravens or Raiders?
Yeah. Aren't the Raiders good?
Oh, they're both pretty good. Ravens are up 13-0 though. How does the show market work?
You just look at the demand. You just look at the Keepa chart.
Ravens are up 13-0. Garrett wanted to say I loved your typical work day with IG. Oh, yeah, I thought that was a good one. Thank you, I appreciate that. I thought that was funny. I enjoyed that. Some of them I make myself laugh with some of these videos. In the next 2 years, do you guys think it's going to get harder to ungate in brands? I do. So that gives you more motivation to start now. But you gotta realize 2 years is a long, long time. You know how much damage you can do in 2 years' time? That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, you could make a couple $100,000 in 2 years from Amazon. So get to it. Most advanced question yet. What's Garrett's Instagram? It's all on Amazon. It's on the screen. No, it's not on the screen.
It's not on the screen. It's now on the screen. Tanner, search Flips for Miles Keepa, and you'll find a video of us breaking down Keepa charts. And with that being said, boys, I think we'll or just plead my that's a good question actually. George, so if you search Flips for Miles Wholesale, you'll find a video I made with Garrett's brother who actually deals with all the cold calling of brands, and he kind of walks through the process in that. So if you search Flips for Miles Wholesale, you'll be able to find that video.
I mean, the net of it is provide value, right? Know what value you can provide, and that's your selling point, right? So whether that's whatever it may be, constant communication, large capital, improved listings, whatever that may be, provide it and make it known up front that you're willing to provide it. And that's the best foot you got. Adios, my friends.
Yep, have a good night. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. tomorrow. Those of you who wanted to get Scout IQ, go do so. Link below. We're out of here. See you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m.